In lightest ale, in darkest stout, no pint glass shall go without. Let those who question drinking's might beware my power, beer lanterns light.
Hey everybody, I'm Sean.
I'm Rob, and this is 10 Plated Talks.
This is pretty much going to be a Q&A episode because on episodes 1 and 2 of this here podcast, we asked you guys for your questions and you delivered. So we're going to go ahead and spend probably all of this episode just handling your questions, but something else may come out if we run a little short of time. If not, we'll be sure to get to it later.
All right, so starting up with a question from RetroMan0000 and some others about streaming. We are going to do some streaming, that's a fact. We're just kind of working out the details. We have some ideas for Dark Souls versus Dark Souls 2, maybe a little PvP.
Because that seems like something that we could stream relatively easily without screwing up the quote-unquote narrative of the actual Let's Play. Other than that, maybe some other games that aren't really worth doing a full Let's Play of, but just doing something short. We'll figure something out. We will start streaming, and we'll announce it long before it happens so that you guys can, shift your schedules around so you can experience our glory. We know that's what you want.
Yeah, probably here on the podcast, so stay tuned.
Yeah.
Now, another viewer, Muhammad Mokhtari, hope I'm saying that right, asked Sean and I for our craziest girl story. And if we're being honest, we had to sift through them to really get to the gold and not just the sad or the terrifying or the losing faith in humanity level stories.
Yeah.
To the ones that are genuinely funny. Now, Sean, why don't you start with yours?
Mine goes back to those heady days of high school. I was, big surprise, thoroughly nerdy then, as I am now, and a girl whose name I did not know at the time, but later found out was named Katana, which should have been a warning.
Now, was that like her street name?
No,
or?
that was her genuine, on her birth certificate, mommy and daddy, or I'm assuming just mommy, named her Katana, like the sword.
Yeah, okay, all right, I'm with you so far.
So I didn't have all the details at the time, but she had decided to make her boyfriend jealous. So she went after the most objectionable target she could find. Thank you. And decided to give me a blowjob. Who was I to say no? I was a teenage male.
A mere mortal.
Yes, please. So she starts going down on me, and I'm like, oh, well, this is happening. I guess we'll do it. And she kept dragging her teeth across. And I'm like, damn it, watch out. Be careful, go slow. Lips, tongue, not teeth. She says, okay. Goes on a little further, scrape, cut it out, watch it with the teeth. Okay, I'll be careful. She slows down, she's giving me this really uninspired, pathetic, lame-ass blowjob, but no more teeth anymore. And then all of a sudden, I feel a sharp pressure as she bites, like, on the very tip of my dick. This was the only time I've done this, but I felt entirely justified in striking her in anger. So I punched her in the side of the head to dislodge her from my mangled member, to see blood spurting rhythmically out of the head of my penis. I tell her it's time to go. She does. But then she, of course, passed the information on to her boyfriend to spread the jealousy. And I had my room was in the basement of my parents' house. Go ahead and get the laugh in at that. And my grandma was the only other person home when I got home from school. Got home, went down to my room, played video games.
Is anyone surprised by Sean's life in high school?
And the door to my bedroom opens, and in walks the girl's boyfriend. My grandma just let this stranger in who came to visit me. No questions asked. He said, You're Sean, right? I went, yeah. He said, I'm Katana's boyfriend. Okay. Came here to beat your ass. Huh.
Now, what was the size difference between you two? Was he like...
He was nigh your size.
God damn.
He was a very large guy. Probably about 40 pounds less than you. And about inch or two shorter. But around 6 foot, so.
It's about...
Big guy. And I, at the time, was 110 pounds and 5'4". Not even a matchup there. There was no weight division crossover available. So I, having nothing else I can really do to respond to any of this, I continue fucking around on my computer. I was playing a game or on AOL or something. That's right, AOL. It was back that far in the past. Basically just sort of paying him no attention. He paused for a little bit. He was like, you know what? I said, what? He said, she's kind of a bitch. I went, yeah? Kinda. He looks at me for a little bit, gets an angry look in his face, says, fuck her, and turns around and walks out. So I managed to avoid an ass beating that day. I like to think it was karma stepping in to decide that I've suffered enough. It's pretty much healed, but there's still a little scar on the tip of my penis. It's not a happy time.
We'll take your word for that.
You sure you don't want to see it?
Positive.
Well, I can show you later.
Mate, let me get a couple of beers under my belt. A couple more, anyway. My craziest girl story, probably my third serious girlfriend. After the big soulless demon that was, my first. Fucked around for a little bit, Started dating this girl who was, and I'm not exaggerating, an actual choir girl. She was as religious as a person could be. So fucking devout. And I'm just another jaded college atheist. And to really paint this picture, she was probably 4'11", 5 foot.
A wee little creature.
Yeah, I'm 6'4", 300 pounds. 320 if it's been a good weekend. She was minuscule. And we dated for about 8 months of no sex, which was torture for me because she wanted to wait for marriage. And I may have told her I also had never had sex because I thought it would get me laid.
Mm-hmm. You're a bastard. Continue.
My parents were married, thank you. Anyway, we break up like you do, and she goes home for the summer. We were in college together, and we talk a little bit over the summer, and she decides she wants on this dick. Moment of clarity, I guess. I don't know. So she comes over to stay a weekend, comes up on Saturday, going to go home on Sunday. Saturday night being the main event. Or wait, no, excuse me, I got that messed up. Come up on Sunday, leave on Monday. After church, as luck would have it. So she comes up. We have what must be the plainest sex anyone can imagine. Ever.
Was it through a hole in a sheet?
It was not, but only because I wouldn't let her cut a hole in my sheet. Yes, I only have one. Fuck you. It was absolutely like this. What can you do? So I get up to go to work the next day. I was working for the National Park Service at the time. I was an agent of the Department of the Interior. Anyway, so she's going to pack up her shit and leave. Suits me. I come home from work, dead ass tired, and my bed's made. Beautifully made. Everything. The covers are on the pillow. The blankets are turned down. There's even like a little piece of candy on the blanket. Only thing is, it's made on the floor because my mattress is gone. Now, I'd slept on an air mattress for a year, a solid year. It's why I got a fucked up back to this day. My original air mattress, all the little internal chambers had broken, so it was just a giant medicine ball of air that you'd kind of drape yourself over and wait for the sleep to take you, or death, either one. I had just bought this fucker. It was beautiful, expensive, nice, had like a built-in sheet that came with it, internal chambers, the whole fucking deal. And the bitch stole it. She deflated it, she folded it up, and she took it with her. So I text her, and I'm like, where in the hell is my bed? And she goes, I lost my virginity on it. It's mine now. Deal with it. And I'm like, you know, I'm not as mad as I was when I got home. And it's really nice of you to make my bed on the floor. And see, that's the part that got me. Was she hoping I wouldn't notice? Like, I would just go, what a lovely bed, and crawl in and go, huh, my air mattress suddenly feels like my hard, scratchy carpet.
Something is amiss.
Weird. Like, you don't got to be the princess in the pea there to figure out your fucking mattress is gone. So, yeah, that's probably my craziest girl story. A girl stole my bed.
So, there you go, Mohammed Makhtari. We hope that satisfies your curiosity. The remainder of this episode is pretty much all due to Radman Snazzle Pop, who left us a comment longer than some of the essays I've turned in for classes. We love him for it.
He probably worked harder on it than most of the essays I did for my whole degree. So
there we go. So we introduce you to the Radman Snazzle Pop segment. To start with, he asked for us to see about putting out some more montages or short videos and the like, because it's easier to share those. He mentioned it's real hard to link someone to part 53 of a 100-part Let's Play, especially when it's 20 to 30 minutes long, and that's a damn good point. So we had the Havel versus Havel fight that we wanted to have coming up. We're still going to do that, but we think we're just going to put that little part out just by itself, so it'll be one short thing. Maybe some of our showdowns that don't go very long. And these short ones will either be out alongside a normal long-form video or as a bonus on Saturday. Long story short, we're going to try to get some short stuff out for, quick little bite-sized things. But we don't want to cut our long-form content to do it, so we'll just have to wedge it in when we get a chance.
And, I mean, we do have some shorter stuff. Portal, for instance, I think it's 5 videos. You could show them part 1 of that.
Well, it's that the individual videos, they're all long. I don't think we have anything under, 12. Not counting the channel trailer, which doesn't count.
Right. Or you could show them that, I guess, but we do have some other Dark Souls stuff, for sure.
We mentioned the streaming. We mentioned the Havel versus Havel fight back in Dark Souls 1. But other than that, we don't plan on doing any sort of lore vids or strategy videos or anything like that. Mostly because we're too incompetent to do anything like that.
Yeah, if you want to learn how to play like 10-plated, just get half in the bag and flail around on the controller. You're pretty much there.
Preferably without reading any of the instructions. That'll get you pretty much there.
Right. He also mentioned Rochard, which there will be more Rochard.
There will.
Not for nothing. I got a birthday coming up. There will be more Rochard.
So probably about 2 to 3 weeks, there will be more Rochard. We're trying to get some of the backlog out. One of the things we're trying to get rid of is Thief, because that game has been a gut-wrenching disappointment. Yeah. Good Friday is coming up, so we're actually planning on finishing Thief and putting the whole thing out on Good Friday, and we're going to call it Good Riddance Friday. That way the game's done, and I never have to see that disappointing bastardization of a great game series from my childhood ruined.
And I can play Rochard.
Yay!
He also wanted to know about your college experience, Sean. For those of you that haven't seen the video right before this one, Sean here graduated cum laude, or
summa cum laude.
Whatever, geek talk. So
that's just for the associate's portion of my degree, though, so I've still got more years to drag on through this.
Now, what is your degree in?
I'm majoring in physics, but I'm probably switching it over to computer science and pick up a minor in mathematics, so that then I'll have a bachelor's in computer science with a minor in mathematics and an associate's in physics, which is a whole lot of math on a computer. But I am 29, and I'm finishing my sophomore year of college, which is a little atypical. That's because I was in the gifted program in elementary. I was in the honors classes all through high school, and it was always boring and easy. This is not to toot my own horn. I was just bored. Nothing was ever challenging for me in classes. And I was always promised, go to a really good college and you will be challenged. You will have to work hard. So I got into Purdue University with a full ride. Everything was covered. And it was even easier. Supposed to be one of the best engineering schools in the Midwest. And it was mindless. It was just mindlessly easy. Again, even taking a heavy course load, taking the hardest course options I can come up with. And I was disillusioned and I left. A few years later was when my thyroid started failing and I got real sick. Took him years to even notice it was a thyroid problem. For a long time, they were telling me, well, you probably have multiple sclerosis, or I think they were even talking about there possibly being some sort of tumor. And I'm like, oh, goody, I'm dying. Then it turned out I'm not dying, so I'm like, gee, guess I'll go back to school. And it's still pretty fucking easy, so now I just load myself up with other things. I'll be graduating at 31, so I'll probably be a bit behind some of the other people I'll be competing with for jobs, but gotta do what you gotta do.
There you go.
Another question. Rob, you and your grandpappy play video games, and Radman wants to know if we'll ever see more, hear more, or possibly even hear from your grandpa.
My papa. I started playing video games when my mom needed someone to play Mario Kart on the original NES with. And
Mario Kart was not on the original NES. It was on the SNES.
And Baby Robb made as good a punching bag as anybody else. The woman is phenomenally good at racing games. Like, to this day, I won't play her in them. But my grandpa thought they were fun. So he put himself behind it. He's a man that's young at heart. He drives a Supra. He, does whatever. He only carries cash. And he carries it in a fucking money clip with his initials. So everywhere he goes, he has a fat wad of 20s in a JFL money clip. He has a floor-length sheepskin coat. Damn. I swear to you, if I found out my grandfather had a stable of young women working for his financial gain, I would not be surprised. But because he was into video games, we always had the latest system, the newest game when it came out, you name it. And we tag teamed it. We worked through all the classics, all the video games. So now, sits at home. He's got his Xbox One. He's got his PS4. He plays Modern Warfare on the hardest difficulty because, as he says, anybody can beat it on easy. But one thing that he is largely is a very private man. I do not think you could get him in front of this camera for anything. Simply because I can hear him now. Oh, I don't know, bud. Nobody wants to hear from me. They can play games for themselves.
Well, I don't know. I think if we start pulling in like Jenna Marbles and PewDiePie level money, we could probably throw enough greenbacks your granddad's way to make him go, well, Robbie, you make a compelling argument. I suppose so.
I mean, this is a guy whose hobbies include building things and panning for gold. I don't know fucking why. One day he thought gold panning sounded like fun, so he went out and stood in a goddamn river, and I'll be damned if he doesn't have a little jar full of pieces of gold. It's like, okay, Papa.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Last thing Radman asked about was our roommates. In some of the very earliest episodes of Dark Souls 1, you can see them milling about in the background and such, because we were just sort of filming in a room that was full of everybody's computers.
Pouring liquor on me like nobody's business. Our first 5 videos, I'm so fucking hammered, I can't keep my face in front of the mic. We filmed for like 5 hours straight of me. I drained 2 1.75 liter bottles because Sean's wife, Amy, would not stop stop keeping my horn not even like halfway full. I took a drink more. That's why we only film in 2-hour segments now.
Yeah.
I think I'm still hungover.
2 of the roommates from that episode don't live with us anymore. One's moved to Seattle and one has moved somewhere else here in the city, I think. I'm not sure. And we've got one new roommate who you saw during the very special channel update where we managed to go scrounge up Dark Souls 2 at midnight. Josh, the big guy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the 4 of us and some very uncooperative cats. The question was, will we ever see more of them or have them involved with the channel in any way? I don't think either of them will ever be on camera because neither of them really have any notice for it. My wife's done a lot of theater, so she's not opposed to it. It's just a matter of we don't really have anything to do. They're not as big a gamers as we are. Josh plays a lot of like Minecraft and such. We might do something with him at some point, but probably not. But what we do have them do is like production.
Like the beer lantern. You can kind of see it there. Josh, I called him the art department. I just walked out and said, art department, I need a picture of a beer tab. And came back in here and started talking with Sean until it was done.
Yeah.
And
so they help us out with a lot of the behind-the-scenes stuff we need to do. We have something coming up where we're probably going to be doing a three-person Let's Play, so we're going to be bringing someone new on for that.
Possibly a viewer. Who knows?
Hasn't been finalized. We'll see. As mentioned in like the first episode, I want Tin Plated to spread out to be more than just Rob and I. It's just a question of who and what is the next project going to be.
We want to be bigger than Walmart.
Preferably with at least vague remnants of ethics, unlike Walmart.
Not on this side of it.
Uh-huh. But I think that covers all the questions. This one actually ran a little longer than our podcasts typically do.
Sorry, guys.
But, if you have more questions, please ask them. Leave them in the comments. Let us know what you want to know. We'll babble on about it. And if you don't, we will come up with other things. If nothing else, I believe Rob needs to finish the story of the ill-fated trip to Atlanta that had putting him on the wrong way of an interstate. But that's all we got for you for today. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And as always, this is Tin Plated. I'm Sean.
I'm Rob. Bye, guys.
See you next time.